Hi, it's Aviva, and it's February 2nd, Monday. And I thought I was recording myself singing, but I didn't. Take a picture of myself instead. So it's a sunny day, it's blue skies outside, and I thought I'd try it again, even though we're inside here. It's better acoustics in here. So this is maybe the third time in a couple of weeks I'm trying to record this at various times of the day, inside and outside, at various. I still haven't really slept in a month because I still don't have the CPAP part I'm missing, but it's a tube and I ordered it and I paid for it, and it should be here in a couple of days hopefully, and then I'll sleep and try to record a fourth or fifth version or however many versions it takes. This is a song I chose because I sang it many years ago. I've been singing it for years. I know it. It's familiar to me, and it's not copyrighted. So hopefully it won't get erased. And I'm now at 9 Fellini, 7 Sokolov in Haifa, in Hadara Carmel, in Talpiot neighborhood, and I've been here for 3 weeks today. It will be I arrived on a full moon, and tonight's a full moon again. Came on the 13th. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I think tonight will be the end of the third week here. And I'm grateful to have this place. I'm grateful for hot water and electricity, and that my mobile internet's working, and I'm grateful that at the moment nothing hurts, even though I've had a tremor. I'm grateful there's more than one pharmacy that dispenses my medicine in Haifa. There's quite a few. I'm grateful for Gal David, who's an extraordinary taxi driver. I'm grateful that my dog is with me, and I hope that she gets her rabies totter soon. I'm grateful that I have the ability to. I'm grateful the scooter got fixed yesterday by Ariel Etsy, and that we had a nice little chat about music. And I'm grateful that the Solax works and I can independently transport myself and my groceries, as I did today, from Carrefour down the street. And if somebody knows which ATMs on Herzl Street accept American cards, that would be nice. The shops all accept the American cards, but the ATMs don't like to give shekels to American card holders for some reason. But thank you to Charles Schwab for getting apparently 2 cards here in a record 1 month instead of the 6 failed cards that never arrived in Alco. Congratulations, and thank you very much. They work too. I activated one of them. The other one is at the Dan Pan, and I'm waiting for a driver's license to be there too, so I can go get the 2 envelopes from the Dan Pan. Check it. Asvi, check it. Check it. Check it all. That would be Skydog. He's waiting for a rabies totter, her Colivit test, to prove she's resistant and has enough antibodies to get on an aeroplane in a big box, because she still doesn't have the service dog license, which I think she deserves, except she still hasn't proved that she can heal. She's getting much better at it since she's been in Haifa. Let's see. The screensaver's on, but so is the video. I have a GoPro that I bought on Christmas for myself, and it's still in the box because I don't want to break it. I broke one camera that I bought on the first day It was much smaller, and it wasn't a GoPro, and it was much cheaper. I didn't want to break the new camera. I've only broken the one camera in my life, but I didn't want to break another one. It's the GoPro 13, and I need to get the accoutrement to go with it. The chest strap, the thing that goes across here, so I can ride around in my mobility scooter and show you which places are accessible and which ones are not. There are some accessible places, and there are also some accessible buses in Haifa. I just haven't ridden on one yet. And there's a thing that can maybe hook it on to the scooter itself, so I can do better videos and different kinds of microphones. And I don't know anything about that, and I'm very bad at videotaping. And I'm going to be looking for some students, hopefully, that know better than I do, so they can help me out with that. In the meantime, I wanted to sing that song again, Blue Skies, because it's sunny today, and I'm happy about that. And I got a lot of things done this morning before noon. It's still before noon. I was up at 5, did my exercise, took the dog out, didn't walk her, but went out with her. Did some grocery shopping at Carrefour down the street, up the street towards Seoul. If you go up, the numbers get bigger towards Carrefour, and if you go down, I still don't know which direction it is, northwest or northeast, then you get smaller numbers on Herzl, and then I know how to see where the Dan Pan is, and those are the 2 streets that I know now, and remember them a little bit from my childhood days 50 years ago. It's kind of weird. I remember all the names, and I vaguely remember where things are while looking at a map, so I'm not totally without sense of direction. In any event, here's a few songs or pieces of songs that I had in my brain when I woke up, and I was still kicking around there, and I thought I recorded it before and uploaded it to X, but in fact I took a picture of myself and didn't record anything because I'm a video dummy. Okay, so Shavua Tov, and that was yesterday, was Sunday. In Israel, the work week starts on, let's see if I can, I know you're gonna have to tickle it or figure out how to turn the screensaver off. So far that's all I figured out. I'm more interested in connecting my Canon printer so I can print out my prescription and fill it. For some reason I'm missing 2 pieces of paper that I didn't print out and didn't take from Akko, so I have a printer. It's not connected, and I just asked Google how to connect it, and Google thinks it's so easy in 4 steps. Well, I've done 2 steps. We'll see if I get through the other 2 steps today. And if not, then maybe the pharmacy that I didn't try yet will take the 2 PDFs off my phone. The last pharmacy couldn't figure out how to transfer it. It was very strange. They either will accept a WhatsApp PDF, like an Acrobat PDF document, or they will accept paper. But then they have a computer that's supposed to check to make sure it's real. And I've had this prescription for 4 or 5 years, and I never had a problem until yesterday. Because I'm new in town, they don't know me, but I asked them to check, and they didn't or wouldn't or couldn't or something. I don't know what it was. It was very stressful and a little drama for a half hour. And the guy took my phone, disappeared with it, didn't say anything about what he was doing, and I thought he stole it. And he just didn't communicate. And it's a couple of people, it's the older couple, like, kind of remind me of my parents, and they're probably from the same generation and the same culture, like Russian, Polish. They're older than me. I'm 67, and almost all the patients or clients or customers in that particular pharmacy look like they are older and sicker than me. I've got Parkinson's and I'm 67. The rest of the people in the place yesterday looked like they were 80 or 90. And so I'm not sure what to do, but I'm going to ask Gemini later. And I always write down what's happened so I could just sort of get it out of my head. It was unpleasant, but I think it was mostly about miscommunication, and also that this particular old couple doesn't know how to use IT. And they expected me to tell them how to use an Android telephone device to transfer files, and I didn't know because I don't use Android devices in that manner. And everybody's got their way or perspective and sees reality, if there is such a thing, in their own subjective manner. So I have no idea what their interpretation was, except it wasn't very friendly or nice, and they were very frustrated. And so it's odd because I had a really bad tremor yesterday and I really wanted some dry flour and I didn't get it, but today I will. If I go out again, I took 50 milligrams of Cinemet. It stopped the tremor for now. I hate taking those pills. I've got plenty of oil. I just wanted to smoke something that wasn't tobacco. I could go back up the hill if I can figure out which bus will take the wheelchair. They don't all take wheelchairs, some of them do. It's either 3 or 37 or 137, according to Google. And then when I was sitting right in front of the bus stop, I took a photo of it and asked the same question, got different answers. So I'm not going to go up to the Dan Pan today because I'm not sure which bus I can go on. And then I asked it about the Carmelite. And it turns out the Carmelite is also not wheelchair accessible. There's no elevator in there. And there's 4 levels. It said tiers, 4 tiers. Now they're hearing a jet that's not a passenger jet. Something's going on. I don't want to know. I'm tired of the news. So anyway, I said, how do I get my chair into the right place where the transportation track is? And Google said, you fold it and carry it, and it's not very likely that I can do that. Weighs 25 kilograms, I can't lift it or carry it. And if I fold it, then the brake tends to get stuck and it doesn't start. I have trouble pushing the brake into the right place, as evidenced by Ariel Etzioni coming yesterday to push the brake into the right place. I'm really embarrassed that that's what the issue was, because I've had the chair and used it for 4 years now. I looked at the receipt the other day, or this morning. It's reliable, and if you want a folding chair that weighs 25 kilos that you can take, it's FAA approved, you can take it on an airplane. You can ride it up and down hills for theoretically 20 kilometers, and in reality it's more like 2 kilometers or maybe 10 at the most. I went as far as about 8.5 to 10 kilometers in Haifa, and I wouldn't try that again because Google Maps took me all over creation, up and down hills, dead ends, wrong places. Signs are in 3 languages, Hebrew, Arabic, and English, but this means I can see them when I'm on the scooter without getting off or using like a telephoto lens or something. And the maps are sometimes confusing over which direction to turn in or where I am. Sometimes it's very accurate, sometimes it's very confusing. And there's a lot of circles in Israel and all the streets. I don't know if they do that in other countries. I don't remember that happening in Oregon or California when I was in a car or anywhere. I drove cross country in 2019. I don't remember circles like this, but in Israel we've got like a circle every few blocks where there's 3 or 4 directions you can go in. If you go down the wrong one, then you get lost. And if you're in a car, well, it's a minute or so to turn around. If you're on a scooter, you might run out of ramps or run into traffic or be redirected onto Highway 4 like I was last week, and end up just sort of by the side of the road in a little tiny scooter with a bunch of semis not very far away from you, and fast traffic in big cars also not very far away. And it should be illegal, but it's not. It is in the United States to do that. It's not in Israel. Suffice it to say that I would recommend getting a Solax Mobi Transformer scooter if you stay off the freeway. You're not likely to want to take it on a bus or a train. You can take it on Israel Railways, but not every train. I've been looking at a video that was made by Minister of Transportation 13 years ago, promising that within 3 years, all taxis, buses, and trains would be wheelchair accessible. I can report to you now that after 5.5 years living in Israel, in northern Israel, they're not accessible. Very few of them are accessible. Taxis It takes me 45 minutes to hail a taxi, and I have to get someone to call about half a dozen times before the taxi will stop and take a folded Mobi Solax scooter, which is no bigger than one of my suitcases that I'm going to check into the airlines in 4 months to go to India. It's the same size, might be even smaller than my blue suitcase here, the new one. It takes up less space than the suitcase. Really, I can measure it for you. It's heavy though, and the drivers are older than me. They don't want to pick it up, and I can't blame them. I can't pick it up. To put it in the trunk of any car, it fits. That's what it's designed to do. It's designed to fit in the baggage compartment on the airplane. This little skinny. Oh, no. My Fellini is very close to Herzl Street, and there's a lot of that noise, police, that's police probably, and then there's ambulances and car alarms and a little bit of shouting, but as long as it's not directed at me, I don't have any complaint about it. I mean, I can live in a noisy place for that, reacting to it, as long as they're not yelling at me or expecting me to move quickly, which I cannot physically do. I cannot tolerate yelling when it's directed at me, and I cannot tolerate crowding or someone, especially someone yelling at me to move faster and standing too close to me. That will trigger me, and I'm not responsible for my reaction. And when I say my reaction, it's never going to be anything physical, but I will yell and scream for you to get away and stop yelling at me. And I have these ear protection things, which I don't have in my hand now, but it's by the air traffic controllers have. I put one on the door here. Maybe I do have it handy. Yeah, I do. Maybe it will do. Oh, it looks like I did. It's a very tiny room that I've rented for 2.5 months. And it's completely the opposite, 180 degrees from the dam panorama. And I'm not going to record anything or write anything about that for a while. I'm just letting it percolate. You know, like making chicken soup. It has to be in a crock pot for a few days before you get all the good stuff out of the bones. And so I'm not going to do anything about Nanpan anytime soon. There's a story there, and I didn't review it on any of the hotel websites. I don't always do that anyway. Anyway, this place is Airbnb, and it's about $25 a night, and it's about 20 square meters, and yeah, you get what you pay for. And the landlord didn't promise anything different than what it is. And I'm pleased, I'm satisfied. There's a folding futon unfolding. There's a futon thing that unfolds into like a double-sized bed with a seam in the middle. But if you're tired enough, you know, which is what I do. I mean, I write until I'm exhausted, and then I watch movies. Right now, I still can't pay for Netflix because it's supposed to be paid for with Israeli card. I have one Israeli card that works in the shops, but it doesn't work online. Why not? Because I tried to buy travel insurance last October, and I haven't been able to reactivate the card online since, because they wanted me to reply to something on the telephone within 30 seconds or something. I can't physically do that, and I couldn't physically, because it's a touch screen telephone and I have a tremor. And I can't do anything quickly because I have Parkinson's. And I tell people this all the time wherever I go: please don't yell at me, I can't listen anymore, please stop talking. I will leave if you want me to, but I can't do it quickly. And the more you yell at me and rush me and get in my face, the worse it's gonna be for me physically and for you, because I'm gonna call the police. And I've had to do that twice so far in 1 month. But the police come, and they don't necessarily understand what Parkinson's is either, but I've documented all of it with photos, videos, text, and with Google. And I feel confident about my being here, and I'm not going back to Akko, and I'm going to continue on my path to India. And the only thing that's keeping me here right now is the dog needs a rabies titer test, which means Either I have to get a taxi driver to drive a big dog in a taxi to a vet, which isn't very far away. Any vet can do the test. Just have to draw blood and send it to a lab and then send me an email. However, the vet's not going to come here without special payment and arrangements that take a long time. And so far I've contacted just about everyone in the area that does, not everyone, but a lot of people for the last month about this dog and getting her a mandatory test. It's not required by the government. Oops, I just fell. Something fell. And sometimes, if I'm triggered and my blood chemistry's off, and this is what I usually wear. If the Parkinson's is a neurological disease. There's no blood test that can definitively diagnose it. It's diagnosed by neurologists. And they basically look at me, and a half a dozen or more of them agreed in Israel that I do have it. After a neurologist at Peace Health in Eugene, Oregon said I do not. And the difference is that when I arrived in Israel after the Pfizer vaccines, 3 of them, well, maybe 2. I think I had 2, and then I was diagnosed with Parkinson's. There's another police. Anyway, that's how I handle that. I don't handle people that well when they get too close physically. I feel threatened. If they're yelling, how can I help you? That doesn't help. It's threatening. If they say, is it better if I speak my broken English? Then you don't understand. Will you listen to that? No, that doesn't help. אני מדבר עברית טוב מאוד. זה לא עוזר שאתם מתבקשים איתי ומתקרבים יותר מדי אליי וצועקים אליי. זה מאוד מפריע ואני אקרא למשטרה. כל פעם שזה קורה אני מדווחת בכתב. ואם זאת חברה גדולה והעובדים עושים את זה ומתקרבים אליי, זה מאיים עליי. מישהו שמתקרב אליי פיזי, גופני, צועק, מרים את הכל, אני אקרא למשטרה מיד. אני לא יכולה לסבול את זה. זה לא משנה מי זה לא משנה באיזה שפה. Je parle français aussi. אסור להתקרב אליי, אלא אם אני מזמינה את זה, ואני לא מזמינה את זה בדרך כלל. ואם אני מזמינה, זה יהיה בכתב, במייל או בוואטסאפ. אני לא עונה על אף טלפון לאף אחד בשום סיכוי שאני אעשה את זה, אלא אם כן אני תקועה במקום אני צריכה מונית והנהג הרגיל שלי לא פנוי. So please, stay away unless I invite you. Don't raise your voice. I like to sing, but I don't like to talk. I can't listen to very much talk. I have hyperacusis and auditory processing disorder. Those were diagnosed by an audiologist many years ago. I believe I was born with it. I believe my mother had it. Parkinson's, maybe not. Something neurological is going on. I'm not a neurologist. I didn't pretend to be. They want to call it Parkinson's, Schmarkinson's, is fine. That's what the medical record says. And it's important because it's a government medical record. It's not just a private doctor that basically half a dozen government neurologists said Abby Ovitsky, aka Aviva Yehudi Ovitsky, has Parkinson's. And it's scary, and it was very depressing when I first heard that. And since then I've coped with it in creative ways. I followed Mimi K. Morgan and I do what she says because I started doing that on my own and I saw that it was working. And I still take some Cinnamate, but I don't like taking pills. And I've never taken the whole dose ever, and I have not increased it. And I use medical cannabis. And today or tomorrow I will fill this month's prescription. I did fill it last month without any problem, even though I didn't have a printout because my printer wasn't connected and I was missing that. I grabbed a bunch of stuff and left in the middle of a storm during a full moon last month, and it's a full moon again today. And I left because there hadn't been any hot water for 3 days, and the landlord wasn't fixing that, and there was no electricity on the day that I gave up on the landlord. I had been there for almost 5 years at that location in Akko with the dog, and I adopted the dog there. Sorry, it's itching. The dog was not an Akkoite dog, it was a Moshav dog. And the previous owner, with his new woman, brought this dog to me, and she's bonded with me, and I, sorry about that. This is cough syrup, not booze. I don't drink anymore, not for a long time. It's no alcohol or sugar. So I decided to make a video, and I felt like singing, and I thought I was recording, and I wasn't. And this is the medicine, and it's prescription medicine in Israel that we do, or I don't know. That's not really focused. You can see it's a pharmaceutical product, and they have something similar in India, where I'm going, but it's missing one ingredient, and that ingredient is I don't know if I pronounce it, tetrahydrocannabinol, THC. It has a very small amount. The Indian oil has very little THC in it. They don't like THC. I think it makes people crazy. I don't ever think I'm going to find out when I go there. I'm not going to bring this unless I got a special permit. And I applied on paper, which apparently they don't like either, and I'm going to reapply before I go on the digital form, and expect them to approve 1 month's worth, and then I'll show them when I go to the doctor there and speak and communicate in person face to face with the Indian neurologist. I'll show them Israeli product and compare it with the Indian Bishaya oil and see what the difference is. There's very little difference. I think it's just the THC, and in any event, that's what I use for my can of bananas, and if they could license can of bananas using the Israeli oil, that would be great, and get an import license for that purpose, to produce a product that would be prescription only and sold in pharmacies, probably as frozen or vacuum packed edible, which they do not have in Israel now. They have flour and they have oil by prescription, but they do not have edibles. It's not California. That's the first reaction I got. This is not California, Viva. And India does have lots of Ayurveda, which is one of the reasons I'm going there. And the other reasons are I love the music. I just can't stop listening to Indian fusion and the kirtans, and the chanting and the yoga, and warmer weather, cheaper housing, friendlier people. Perhaps they'll mind their boundaries a little better. I don't want to make any comments that can be construed as racist, so I've watched a lot of videos about the East, and I haven't been there yet, so I'm going to go there next. And I do like the food a lot, and the stuff I cook when I have a more long-term place is pretty Ayurvedic, and has been for years. And the muffins that I came up with that pretty much stopped the tremors and helped me digest food and keep weight off, except for this under the arms. I don't know. I've got to read more what Mimi's doing, and I don't know why my nose itches. I'm not being dishonest, I promise. I really don't think I'm capable of lying. I don't know why people do that. I think a lot of people assume that everyone does, and I hope that's not true. I have met a few people like me. There aren't that many. I think it's weird. So anyway, I woke up and I went outside and I drank my now empty mug of Turkish coffee, and half of it, because it's a big mug. And it was sunny and warm, and the sun was shining, and the sky was blue, and the dog was happy to be out there. And so I just thought I'd try to record this song again and keep doing it until I get a version I like. This would be the third time that I'm trying to record it, and I'm not copying anybody. I'm just doing my own version of it. I chose this one because I've been singing it for about 20 or 30 years, and it's not copyrighted. And that's the great mazel of it, is that I can probably put it out there for people to listen to before it gets erased by the copyright robot. So anyway, again, it's Aviva in Akko, and let's see what time it is now. I got too big. I don't have a big screen TV. I left this big screen in Akko, and I was trying to see this little tiny. It's 11:13 on Monday, 2nd of February, and I'm sitting in my little room, which I'm very happy to have. It's very economical. It's kind of like a little micro apartment. Imagine that in Tokyo it's just about the same. Maybe someday I'll find out. So yeah, there's a sofa bed that unfolds, and there's a fridge, like an office fridge, and there's a burner on top of that, and there's a big sink, actually, a big ceramic sink behind the fridge. And there's a water kumkum for boiling water and making tea. And I boiled some eggs this morning. I made hard-boiled eggs, and made an omelet the other day on that thing. And I rewarmed some delicious Kesar Indian food, and I might go get some more of that tonight. I think they're open in 45 minutes. I don't know what their lunch crowd is like. Every time I've gone, there's been people there. Well, I went at 8:30 and it was crowded. Every table was full. And then I went at 9:30 and there were still people there, but it wasn't crowded. And I got much better, faster service. But the first time I ordered something that didn't have any spice, and the second time I said I wanted the top spiciest top number of spice that you 10, and they said is the top number, so I ordered that. It lasted 3 days because it was very spicy, so I think I'll tell them like maybe an 8 this time. It's the only Indian restaurant I can scoot to on a Solax Mobi Transformer scooter. It's at 11 Sirkin, and all I can say is the food is delicious. And Vereniki's is also very good. That's a lunch place, and they open, I think, a brunch place. If you're going to go on Shabbat, go really early, because I went late and it was packed and there was no tables. But the food was really great, especially the borscht. Okay, so I'm going to try to switch gears and sing a little bit, and later I'll figure out how to turn off the screensaver. It's a cough syrup. It's a herbal. It's really not alcohol. I think I've had 2 beers in the last decade. And I don't know of any AA groups around Haifa or Akko, but I don't know. It would be nice to go, I suppose, sometime. Or online, for that matter. It's another group I used to go to called Recovery Inc. And then there was a place I used to go to that taught Marshall Rosenberg's nonviolent communication. I used to go to these things with my son when I was raising him as a single mom in the dog ages. He's now 30 and a half. Hi, Max. Let's see, yeah. I was supposed to I did go to the dentist yesterday, and I sat there for 15 minutes and she didn't show up, so I reckon they tried to call me on the phone and change the time, but I think I'll find another dentist. Seems like every dentist in Haifa, in Hadar, is Russian, and every other shop is run by a person that's older than me who's also Russian. And that's not fine. I can try to see if I can understand more Russian. I did the Duolingo. I didn't finish it. I did a few Duolingo Russian lessons, because the words are a lot like Polish, and I finished the Polish course, and I've also finished the Hebrew, the Latin, the Greek. Not the Greek. I might do that if I'm going to go to Greece. I did do a few Greek lessons, and I've had Latin and Greek before in college. My mother spoke French. Almost finished with the French course. It's very long. I started that like a year ago. I finished the Hebrew, the Polish, I'm on Indonesian now. It's quite easy. I started the Hindi one. I started the Chinese one. Chinese not intuitive. Started the Japanese one too and stopped because it's not intuitive. The Hindi one is more intuitive. And the Indonesian one is extremely easy for some reason. Dutch is easy, Yiddish is easy, German is easy, Italian is easy, and Portuguese is easy for me. And so in Turkish I started, it's not as hard as Arabic. I never got Arabic. I try to read Arabic now for 6 years and I can read a few street signs. And I understand a few words, but I've got some psychological block to Arabic and maybe Russian, I don't know. Maybe it's historical, I don't know. And there's some languages that are just really easy for me to get. And if I can hear it and people speak slowly, I can understand. And if not, I read closed captions on Netflix is very good for foreign films, for practicing understanding, and I haven't found the same deal on YouTube. It's probably there somewhere if I just ask Google where and how to get films on YouTube in foreign languages. I do have YouTube Premium, which seems to be worth it because I'm getting a lot of free films that are just as distracting when I want a distraction as Netflix is. So. In any event, let me try the Blue Skies. And then at some point I'll figure out how to turn off the screensaver. This is water, and I think it holds only about 480 mils. That's not much. It's not less than half a liter. I try to drink 2 liters of water a day. Makes a big difference, especially sitting in an air-conditioned room with the door closed if it's raining, or on an airplane, or traveling anywhere where it's dry, climate control, or if it's hot and I'm outside. I mean, it just needs to be, body needs to be hydrated. Okay, so blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but, I think it's gonna go off his mouth. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all night long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Hurrying the days worrying by, when you're in love, my how they fly. Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Ba 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 da ba be ba be. Have a nice day. Good week. Shalato.